Ladies and gentlemen, Eli's dad! Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and we inspire. And how do you get yourself ready for Showtime? It's Showtime. How do you get yourself ready to rock and roll? What we're going to talk about today, Eli and everybody else, is how you can raise the bar, change your mind positively, and open a Take Charge account. You know, the way that you move towards any particular endeavor can be tied down to two motivating factors. One is the mental and one is the physical. Now sometimes when you have the mental and you're rocking and rolling with it, you know, you're there, you're going. But sometimes the mental part is not there for you. So how do you get yourself in the state, the physical state, to go out and make it happen? Well, that particular issue was something that back in the day when I was in sales, I had to face virtually all the time. You know, sometimes I'd be pumped to the moon, I'd get out of my car, and you know, at that time we were knocking on doors, just trying to get into a house so we could make a presentation, didn't have any appointments or anything, just door-to-door sales. And if you've never done door-to-door sales, it's not something that you wake up in the morning and say, oh boy, I get to knock on people's doors that I don't know. So how do you get yourself in the mode for Showtime? Here's the key thing. First of all, understand that the action precedes the feeling. That you have to do something physical before you're going to get that inner motivation, get yourself going. So one of the things that we would do, the way that we were trained, and this was really kind of neat, I didn't realize it at the time, but it certainly was a great factor in getting us in the right space mentally, was we'd walk up to a door, and the first thing we did, we were taught how to knock on the door. And this is how you knocked on the door. That was your knock. And once you did that, and somebody would come and open the door, it's Showtime! Hi, my name's Eli Dad. And then I would get into my little pitch, my little door pitch, so I could get into the house. And you know, Eli, you know this from things that you've done before. I mean, remember when you were real little, and he used to go, hey Dad, let's play fighting. All right, well, at that time I wasn't 900 years old, and I actually had some better physical skills than I have now, and I wasn't afraid I wasn't going to get whacked or hurt. So I said, all right, let's have some fighting, because I know, you know, little boys, they like to mix it up. So we get into position on various sides, and then how did we start the fight? You would go, ding ding! And then when you went ding ding, we were ready, just the way boxers do in the ring. When they hear the bell, all right, you know, they walk, they loosen up, all right, and then the bell rings, and they're ready to rock and roll. When you get your body in a position, then that creates inertia, that creates momentum, that gets you going in the right way. And so understanding how your physical body works as far as getting you ready for the particular endeavor you're trying to pursue is kind of an important thing to know. It's the perception that you have of the mind and the body together that gets you ready. Let me give you an example. One of the things when I was teaching people sales was I would point out to them, you know, the way that you say something greatly determines the way things are perceived. And this was the example I used to give them. I used to write on the board, I didn't say he stole that money. All right? So you say it that way, I didn't say he stole that money. Or you could say, I didn't say he stole that money. That means somebody else said it. I didn't say he stole that money. No, I wrote it down, or I whispered it, or I implied it. I didn't say he stole that money. Well, It wasn't him, it was somebody else. I didn't say he stole that money. No, he just borrowed it. He just acquired it. He found it on the ground. I didn't say he stole that money. No, he stole somebody else's money. You follow what I'm saying? So the way that you say things, the way that you do things creates a different perception, which leads me to talking about the physicalness, the state of physicality that you're in, and creativity, which was how I got started on this in the first place when I was doing my research. Showering and creativity go hand in hand because it's a stress-free environment that inhibits your mind to wander off and generate new ideas. You know how we always talk about how the universal mind communicates to us best when we are in a relaxed state. This is the reason why. It's because you're successful when you're activating various senses such as touch, sound, and sight, along with being in a relaxed state of mind. So you're kind of opening yourself up, and it allows you to, perceive, being in a space of doing an activity that doesn't require huge mental capacity means you have a clear focus and your brain can make more connections. And therefore you're going to generate more new ideas. So the two things that you want to kind of remember, Eli, when you get up to the plate and you're a hitter, you're facing a good pitcher, all right, well, what have you done? You were in the on-deck circle and you were loosening up and you were taking practice swings, and then you get into the batter's box, and then once you get into the batter's box and the pitcher goes into his motion, there you are. You're all intense and you're focused and you're looking at one thing, and the tensing up of your body gets you focused on that one thing clearly, and it's a physical thing and you're moving with it. On the other hand, if you want to open your mind, you have to do exactly the opposite. You have to be in a relaxed state. You have to allow for your other senses, not just that one sense of sight, when you're at bat, but you have your other senses that are in a relaxed state, so you can feel, you can touch, you can smell, and you can relate those things to the burning desire that you have. So understand how your body works in two different ways. One is to get yourself in motion, showtime, and the other is to get yourself in creative mode where you're more relaxed. So once you understand those things a little bit, then you're in a better position. Now, I don't understand the why and because all these things work necessarily. I try to make sense out of it, but the important thing is, I read things, people talk about dopamine, and, to me that's, rope-a-dope. What do I care about dopamine? What I care about is the results, right? This is what I care about. Just the same way as Tony Robbins talks about the reticular activation system, and all of the pundits, the reticular activation system. What does that simply mean? It means, hey, when you have a burning desire about something and you're driving down the road and your mind is focused on that while you're driving, the things that you see are going to relate to that. Okay? Reticular activation system, great. All I know is when I have a burning desire and I have a particular focus, then I relate other things to it. So it's not critical to understand, how the doctor got to the point of giving the prescription. The important point is to understand, here's the prescription, I need to go to the drugstore and get my medicine. Understand that part of it. Does that make sense? I don't know, I'm kind of a simple guy. I focus on the results. If somebody else has already worked out the details, I'm willing to accept their conclusions, especially when I know that they're true from my own empirical observation. So understand how your body works, and because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.